So students, at this stage you must be familiar with symbols and formulas of the elements. Today children, we will start our next topic, chemical equation. As written in your book on page number 13, a chemical equation is a statement that describes a chemical change in terms of symbols and formula. We know that according to law of conservation of mass, matter can neither be created nor be destroyed during a physical or chemical change. In a chemical reaction, it can only be transformed from one place to another. In a chemical equation or reaction, number of atoms of each element on the right hand side are equal to the number of atoms of each element on the left hand side. Some important terms regarding a chemical reaction or a chemical equation are: first is reactants and another one is product. Another important term, or we can say the thing, is sign of an arrow, that is forward arrow, which means to yield or to form. That means which reactants are reacting together to form the products. Now some important points to write a balanced chemical equation. These are the main points which you should keep in mind while writing a chemical equation. Reaction between two chemical substances, all the reactants and the products, symbols and formulas of all the reactants and products. Now, what is balanced chemical equation? As written on page number 14 of your book, a chemical equation in which the number of atoms of each element is same on the side of reactants and products is called balanced equation. Here we are having the equation which contains an equal number of atoms of each element on two sides of the equation is called balanced chemical equation. Now what does it indicate? A chemical equation indicates a chemical change and it should always be balanced. And the number of atoms of each element on left hand side of equation must be equal to the right hand side of the equation. Third important point is reactants and the products should be in molecular form. These are some important points regarding the balancing of chemical equation. Firstly, we will discuss about the hit and trial method of chemical equation. We are having actually two methods. First is the hit and trial method and another one is the partial equation method. Firstly, we will discuss about hit and trial method. Here, firstly we will write the skeleton equation. Then we will select the formula of the compound containing maximum number of atoms. If it fails, select atom which occurs at minimum number of places. At the end, balance elementary substances. We are taking example of an equation and we are going to balance it by hit and trial method. Here we are having equation H2S plus SO2 gives S plus H2O. Firstly, we will write the number of elements in the following equation. In H2S, hydrogen atom are 2, sulfur 1. In case of sulfur dioxide, it is 1, sulfur 1 and oxygen 2. In case of sulfur as the product, only product, sulfur 1 atom, and in water, hydrogen atoms are 2 and oxygen is 1. So, listen how we are going to balance it by hit and trial method. Firstly, we will see SO2, in which the number of atoms of oxygen is 2, but in water it is 1. So, we will multiply water H2O by 2. then we will find out we are having the equation H2S plus SO2S plus 2H2O. Then also in H2S it is multiplied by 2. So it becomes 2H2S. 2H2S plus SO2 gives S plus 2H2O. Hydrogen is here balanced now. Hydrogen 4 atoms on reactant side, that is H2S, and again in case of product side we are having water. Here again hydrogen atoms are 4. So hydrogen is balanced now. We will look towards sulfur. On left hand side now sulfur has now become 3. So we will put 3 before S or multiply S by 3. So it will become 3S. Last is oxygen left. On left hand side there are 2 atoms of oxygen, while on right hand side there are 2 atoms of oxygen. Thus finally we are having the balanced equation, and we will find out whether this equation is balanced or not. Again 2H2S plus SO2 gives S plus 2H2O as the balanced equation we are having, and we will find out hydrogen on reactant side or the left hand side of the equation equals to 4 atoms, sulfur 2 atom in case of H2S. In case of SO2 it is sulfur 1 atom and oxygen 2 atom. In case of the sulfur is the product is sulfur atoms are 3 in number, and in case of water hydrogen 4 atom and oxygen 2 atom. So on the whole we can see on left hand side hydrogen 4, sulfur 3, oxygen 2, and on right hand side again we are having hydrogen 4 atoms, oxygen 2 atoms and sulfur 3 atoms. Thus we can see that it is now balanced. Another example we are having of an unbalanced equation, which is P4 plus O2 gives P2O5. Here on left hand side of the equation phosphorus equals to 4 and oxygen atoms equals to 2, and on right hand side we are having phosphorus 2 atoms, oxygen 5 atoms. So we will first multiply P2O5, which is a product, by 2. Multiply P2O5 by 2. So it becomes 2P2O5. Then oxygen is O2. It will be multiplied by 5. On left hand side, it will become 5O2. So final equation which we are having is P4 plus 5O2 gives 2P2O5. Another method which we are having is partial equation method. Here what is written here, we are going to read it. This type of balancing depends upon frequency of number of places at which an element occurs in a chemical reaction. Here important term is F number, which means the number of places the element is present. And another important thing is balancing depends upon atomic number also. If an atom of an element is present at one place in reactant side and one place towards the product side, thus frequency of that element in whole equation is 2. Means at 2 places it is present. Thus nitrogen at 2 place again and oxygen at 3 place. We are having example of KNO3 is going to yield KNO2 and O2 as a product. We are having potassium at 2 places, nitrogen at 2 places and oxygen at 3 places. In case of partial equation method, balancing is related to atomic number of an element. As given on page number 17, rules for balancing chemical equation are there by partial equation method. Firstly, the first rule is the frequency number of all the elements we have to write. Then we will select the element which has least frequency number. Then other element with least frequency number. Fourth point is, if two or more elements have same frequency number, then balance the metallic element first. Metallic element with higher atomic number is balanced first. And then the metallic element with lower atomic number. In case of non-metallic element with same frequency number, first the non-metal with high atomic number is balanced, and then the non-metal with lesser atomic number. We are going to discuss about the first example which is given in your book. CaHCO3 whole twice plus COH whole twice gives CaCO3 plus H2O. This is unbalanced equation. Firstly, we will write the F number, frequency number and order of balancing of each element. As on page number 17 of your course book, we are having a list of some common metals and non-metals in increasing order of atomic number. Again, we will keep in mind that if F number are same, then firstly we will balance the metallic element and then non-metallic element. As you can see in this table on page number 18, frequency number of calcium 3, hydrogen 3 and carbon 2 and oxygen is 4. We will start with carbon first, as it has least F number, which is 2. On left hand side there are 2 carbon atom, while on right hand side there is only 1 carbon atom. So we will multiply CaCO3 by 2 and make carbon as 2 atom. Then we will see the calcium and hydrogen which are having positive charge and are having same frequency number. We will take first calcium as it is a metal. Calcium atom on right hand side are 2, and when we have multiplied CaCO3 by 2, it has become 2 atom. Thus it is balanced, and then we will look towards hydrogen. After this we are having the equation CaHCO3 whole twice plus CaOH whole twice gives 2 CaCO3 plus 2 H2O. Number of oxygen atom of on left hand side equals to 6 atom of CaHCO3 whole twice carrying 6 atoms of oxygen and 2 atoms in case of calcium hydroxide CaOH whole twice. So on the whole we are having on left hand side 8 atoms of oxygen, while on right hand side we are having number of oxygen atom equals to 6 in case of CaCO3, and in case of water it is 2 atoms. So again we can say, or we can see 6 plus 2 becomes 8 atoms. Thus on reactant and product side total 8 atoms of oxygen are there. Now thus in this way we have balanced this equation by partial equation method. Second example we are having is FeCl3 plus NaOH gives NaCl plus FeH whole thrice. We will make the table in this manner: element and the frequency number. And the order of balancing also here. Element Fe at 2 places it is present, sodium 2 places, chlorine 2 places, oxygen 2 places and hydrogen 2 places. All have frequency number 2. Then we will select the order of balancing. So order of balancing here we get, because they are present on 2 places, all the elements are present on 2 places. So we will see that we can number it in this manner: first, second, third, fourth and fifth. according to the rule, we will select metal first. Metals are sodium and iron here. Atomic number of iron is 26. Sodium is 11. We will take element iron first because iron or Fe has more atomic number. Then the secondly we will see sodium on both sides. Its frequency number is 2. So it will become 2. Next are non-metals, which are chlorine and oxygen. Chlorine atomic number 17 and oxygen atomic number 18. Atoms of chlorine on left hand side 3 and on right hand side. So on right hand side we will multiply NaCl by 3. So it will become 3 NaCl. Equation will be now as seen here, FeCl3 plus 3 NaOH gives 3 NaCl plus FeOH whole thrice. Then we will see atoms of sodium has become 3. So we will multiply NaOH by 3 and we are having now balanced equation. Now we will look towards oxygen, which is having 3 atoms on left hand side and 3 atoms of oxygen on right hand side. Hydrogen 3 atoms on left hand side and on right hand side 3 atoms of hydrogen. Thus it is balanced now. Now we will discuss about information which is conveyed by a balanced chemical equation, which is on page number 22 of your course book. We will take the example of balanced chemical equation. A balanced chemical equation tells us about the substances which react and products formed by a chemical reaction. In the above equation, copper oxide reacts with carbon monoxide to form carbon and carbon dioxide. To form copper and carbon dioxide. A balanced chemical equation also tells us about the symbols and the formula of all substances involved in a chemical reaction. A balanced chemical equation tells us about the number of atoms or the molecules of all substances involved in a chemical reaction. In the above equation, one molecule of copper oxide reacts with one molecule of carbon monoxide to form one atom of copper and one molecule of carbon dioxide. A balanced chemical equation also tells us about the mass of all substances involved in a chemical reaction. Suppose here in case of the equation above, the above equation tells that 80 gram of copper oxide react with 28 gram of carbon monoxide to form 64 grams of copper and 44 gram of carbon dioxide. Next one is the limitation. Here it does not give information about the physical state of reactants and products. For example, the equation given below does not tell whether the substances involved in a chemical reaction are in solid, liquid or gaseous state. CaCO3 plus 2HCl gives CaCl2 plus H2O plus Cl2. How is the above limitation overcome in a balanced equation? This is overcome by putting symbols like small s for solids, small l for liquids and small g for gases. For chemicals which react in solution form, a symbol AQ, which means aqueous, can be used. Following examples will illustrate this thing. Here CaCO3 in bracket solid is written S in small s plus 2HCl AQ in aqueous form gives CaCl2 in aqueous form AQ plus H2O, L stands for liquid plus CO2 stands for gas here. Some two more equations, chemical reactions are given here. Study it. Then the second point is a balanced chemical equation does not tell whether a chemical reaction has come to completion or not. A balanced chemical equation does not tell anything about the speed of a chemical reaction. For example, the reaction between silver nitrate solution and sodium chloride solution completes in few seconds. However, the decomposition of lead nitrate crystals take place in few minutes. A balanced chemical equation does not tell about the physical conditions which bring about the chemical reaction. Example, it does not tell whether heat energy, light energy, pressure, catalyst, etc. are required for a chemical reaction or not. So in this way we have completed the part of chemical reaction. Children, if the reaction is not balanced, board didn't award marks, any mark to the examinee. So keep in mind, you should learn how to balance a chemical reaction. This is very important part of chemistry. After symbol, valency, chemical formula, next important thing is chemical equation or the chemical reaction, and more important is balancing. So when you study a reaction, always balance it, or write a chemical reaction, always balance it in a proper manner. Some of the reactions for balancing I have given in assignment. Do it properly in your register or the notebooks which you have made.